Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
It is a crisp day here in Cleveland. Wind gusts for sure and a chance of rain, so we'll see how the elements play into today. But right now, no rain, and we are set to go as the Browns have won the toss. They elected to defer and put their #1 defense out on the field first. Glad to have you aboard Week 6 of the NFL on Fox. And that's where we will see Brock Purdy, who has been sensational in his young career. 10 regular season starts. He's won every single one. To go. Deshaun Watson is out. P.J. Walker gets the start. More on that with Tom Rinaldi.
The Browns' third starter in their last 3 games. After Walker was officially named to be the one who would go, had a chance to talk to him Friday afternoon, and he said he really benefited from getting the first team reps all week, the extra time in the meetings and in film study, but in particular the experience that he had with Carolina last year, making 5 starts, and that feeling of having a team rally around him and believe in him. He said that's what he wanted most to try to create today. As for the advice he carries with him, he said, clear mind, just be you. This is what I've done since I'm a kid. He laughed, but it wasn't against the Niners. We'll see how it goes, guys.
Yeah, not much there. Well, it is starting to rain, and we go down to our resident meteorologist, Aaron Andrews.
You know, I don't need the Fox weather app for this one, baby. And this is the weather Kyle Shanahan hoped for today. He told his guys, it's going to be grimy. It's going to be tough, and I want you to embrace it. Let's talk about that wind, 17 to 18 miles per hour. Rain expected throughout the game, and like we said, Shanahan wanted it. He said, I don't want you to hear about your stats all week. I don't want you to be talked about all week. I want you to be battle tested. Play through this, figure it out, deal with some adversity so we can be where we want to be at the end of the year. I don't need my hair where it's going to be at the end of this game, but you get it.
You've been waiting for that report all year. Marquise Goodwin on a little flip on an end around. Uh-oh, speed, and he gets taken down by Hufanga. Maybe we say hello to Carissa.
Hello, Kevin. Bengals hosting Seattle today. Joe Burrow waiting to find Tyler Boyd. Boyd, he scores his first touchdown of the season. Easy for me to do this highlight. Bengals, Seattle tied at 7.
No, what? No return, no back to you. I love that I got a giggle out of Carissa. Like we have this game, we try to make her laugh. It worked. Carissa, thanks as always. 2nd and 8, San Francisco here. Up 6 yards. Well, tonight after football, the ALCS begins, and it's a good one, too. Stars everywhere. Corey Seager against the Astros, who have been there 7 straight years. The championship series, game 1 tonight on Fox. Can't wait as the Browns go quick. Points. And after one, it's 7-0 49ers. Concern here. Deebo Samuel now going to get checked out.
Today.
There's so much history here, Cleveland football. These Browns, Otto Graham and Bernie Kosar and Joe Thomas. There's so much. Jim Brown. You could go on forever. These are great fans here looking for a winner. Haven't had many in recent years. 2-2 their record so far this year. 3rd and 12 as we start the 2nd quarter, trailing San Francisco. You know, we talked to Kyle Shanahan, right, last week, Greg, and he said, you know, all those that think they're going to see what they saw against Dallas, I don't think that's going to be the case this week. So he kind of thought this might be kind of a muckety-muck type game.
Yeah, and I think he wants his team to have to play that style. He said he came into last, Sunday night, the big game against Dallas. He said, I was prepared for it to be a track meet. We were in a race to 30 points. He goes, that's not necessarily the case here. If I run my offense like I did last Sunday against Dallas, I'm playing right into the teeth of this Cleveland defense. You open yourself up to negative plays, tip passes, turnovers. This is going to be a very different style play call of Kyle Shanahan than we saw a week ago.
You know, when you talk about Brock Purdy, and we started the broadcast talking about, Greg, your thoughts on just how good he is. Forget about what system he's playing in. We asked Kevin Stefanski, right? He's been a quarterback guru his whole life. Here's what he said to us this week. He's an elite processor of information who throws accurately and on time, which are the most important things. It's really all you can say, right? I mean, what more do you want than that?
And Kevin Stefanski, he knows a thing or two. He's been around some good quarterbacks. He's been around the league. That's pretty high praise from a quarterback guy.
But for Watson, it's interesting, Greg. A couple weeks ago for the bye, they thought potentially he was going to go, and then Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the rookie, got to start last second. So you're thinking after the bye he would play. Now it's kind of unknown when he's going to come back with that rotator injury.
Yeah, and we've seen mixed reports. You know, there's been some optimism in the building that he potentially could come back and play next week. We've also heard other rumblings that maybe this is a multiple-week injury. So I think there's still a lot of questions to be answered. And, you know, of course, being on your third quarterback and what's only your 5th game of the season is not a position Kevin Stefanski wished to be in.
Well, you talked about 3 quarterbacks this year. Greg, it's been a recurring problem for the Browns, right? I mean, you think about this since '99. These are all the quarterbacks that have played for them. There's a lot, and there's some good quarterbacks in there, but there's just a lot of quarterbacks. That's the point. You don't want to have 36 in 24 years necessarily, and the even crazier part is that's seven more than the next nearest team. Just haven't found stability.
Yeah, it's no secret. I mean, the formula for having sustained excellence in the NFL is to have, you know, kind of stability at 2 spots. The head coach and the quarterback. You can kind of weather everything else around them, and that's something that, listen, it's not just Cleveland. There's a handful of organizations throughout the league that have been searching for that, but maybe no one quite to the level that the Browns have.
Well, Kyle Shanahan knows all about Cleveland. He was here, offensive coordinator 2014. They got off to a great start that year, 4th most rushing touchdowns in the league, but then had a tough finish to the year. And he said, you know what, some misconceptions about my time there. He's like, I love the people. Like, the fans were great. I'd be in the mall and people come up, oh, mind you guys, I love it. They were so into it. A lot of respect for this fan base here. And they've got 1 left. While they do that, good time to check in with Kurt Menefee, see what's coming up at the half.
Start the music. Cue graphics. Cue Kurt. Roll prompter. We're hot. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Show, I'm directing you through all the Week 6 scores and highlights. We'll see you at the half. All right, guys, we're clear in 3, 2, 1.
I mean, Kurt, what can he do?
He can do it all. He can do it all.
Look forward to that. Just take a knee. Browns have 1 timeout. They will elect to not use it, and that'll take us to the half. Oh, the weather has been a factor. Sloppy play has been a factor. A million penalties, tensions which flared at the fight at the beginning of this game. And the score is kind of fitting as we take a look at today's By the Numbers, brought to you by Sleep Number. Cleveland Browns have more yards than the San Francisco 49ers, playing with P.J. Walker, their backup quarterback today. And it's been a tight one throughout. 10-7 49ers at the half from Cleveland. And stay tuned. The Verizon Halftime with Kurt and the guys comes your way after the break. McCaffrey in for the touchdown.
Just took him for a ride.
All the way, touchdown, Cleveland.
He doesn't get touched.
We got ourselves a game. That's today's game flow, brought to you by Progressive. We're about to start this second half, 10-7 49ers. Along with Greg Olson, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Glad to have you aboard. It's so interesting, right? I think for Cleveland, think about this. 49ers scored the opening drive, got an interception, took it down to 24. We're about to go in again. It's only a 3-point game. I think the Browns have to be thrilled with their backup quarterback to be in this right now.
Absolutely. This is the style in which Cleveland's made to be, made to play, especially right now with P.J. Walker, one of your backup quarterbacks, getting the start. So I think you said it. I think they're thrilled. Penalty calls back in the Njoku touchdown. They've missed a field goal. You mentioned the early pick. It's 10-7. They're getting the ball to start the half.
27 as we go down to Tom.
Well, talking to Kevin Stefanski coming out at halftime, I asked him what he thought of the way the first half unfolded. He said, we're dragging them down in the mud with us, with a smile. Offensively, he said he was pleased with how P.J. Walker's performing, although clearly he'd like to have one throw back, that being the early pick. Defensively, he said we've been effective at trying to get Brock Purdy off schedule and uncomfortable, which we have to do to succeed. He knows that his team is in this, and exactly as you guys said, even though the rain just stopped right now, the wind is continuing to swirl. It's a slog like Cleveland wants it.
That is a great quote, dragging them down in the mud with us. So far, that's been the case. Here's covered. Let's go downstairs to Aaron.
Well, and speaking with Kyle Shanahan going into the half, he said this is exactly the game we thought we'd be in with this weather, with the defense. Scenario he didn't anticipate and they don't want to hear is Deebo Samuel is out of this game with a shoulder injury. He said they'll just continue to mix in Ray McCloud, Juwan Jennings. They've done a good job so far. For his offense, Kevin, he said we just have to capitalize on these missed opportunities there in the first half he felt they could score on and clean up the penalties.
Yeah, a lot of them. 12 total penalties in the game, Aaron. You know, P.J. Walker, 4th year in the league, but he has really been around in a lot of different places. He was 4-year starter at Temple. He was their all-time leader in touchdown passes. Was a star there for Matt Rule. Signed with the Colts as an unrestricted free agent. Was there on the practice squad for a couple years. And then, because Andrew Luck recommended him to his dad, who was commissioned in the league, went there, was playing like an MVP, and then went back to Matt Rule, who he played for in college with the Panthers. You know, as Tom told you earlier, this guy's starting experience. 4-3 as a starter for Carolina at receiver. Game break time. Let's go back to Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. We head to Chicago. Justin Fields out of the game with a hand injury. Josh, tell us with the sack of Tyson Bagent, and Jordan Hicks picks this one up and goes 42 yards for the score. Vikings up in this one 19-6. Kevin?
Wow. Jim Schwartz brought in to run this defense, and he's got them #1 in the league overall. Obviously led by Myles Garrett, but they added in free agency. They've got a really good secondary. And you know what? They're doing a great job on the 49ers today. They've held them to 149 total yards. It's after an opening drive, 85-yard drive, 4-yard line. We'll start Saturday strong. Big noon Saturday on Fox. It starts big noon kickoff, 10 a.m. live from Columbus. And then at noon, well, it's the most anticipated game of the season. 3rd-ranked Ohio State takes on 6th-ranked Penn State. You know, we're going to how we're going to do keep our director in one piece. Rich Russo and his Penn State fandom. Bruce and Richie Z, our producer, Rich Zients, our entire NFL on Fox crew. Glad you could be with us here today from Cleveland. Hey, don't forget our NFL doubleheader continues next. America's Game of the Week. Jalen Hurts and the undefeated Eagles take on the Jets. The Lions and Bucks, a really good one, too, or Cardinals and Rams. Check for the game in your area right here on Fox and the Fox Sports app. D-line getting a rest to be aggressive. You know, when you have a great team, slim margin for error. They had that 4th and 1. They decided to punt it away. You hated it then, and I know you hate it even more now.
Yeah, they had the game was completely in their control. They had dominated since the start of the second half. Their defense was making plays. San Francisco couldn't do anything on offense. That's when you're more inclined to be aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. The idea that, oh, my defense is in control, let them win it. No, your defense is in control. Take some opportunities to maintain possession. You're up by 3. Try to extend it to 10.
Well, tonight, it's the ALCS beginning on Fox. Looking forward to that with what should be a really good series, right? In-state rivals. The Rangers and Jordan Montgomery against Justin Verlander and the Astros. They just traded for Verlander at the deadline to bring him back to Houston. They've been there 7 straight years, the defending champs. But the Rangers haven't lost in the playoffs yet. That is going to be some series. Multiple penalties, but I think it's celebration here.
Yeah, the entire Browns team ran on the field like that was a walk-off miss, but there's still time left. They got to come out and still take a knee. That's what the flags were, and wow.
Jake Moody had been perfect this year. He missed from 54 earlier.
Celebration players out on the field from the team bench. 15 yards on Cleveland. First down.
This was 41, and he just pushed it, and it never turned over.
Give credit to Cleveland. Not many people gave them a fighter's chance today. Playing your 3rd quarterback. Potentially the best team in the entire league. Not an easy path to victory, and they found a way. It wasn't perfect, Wasn't necessarily clean, but P.J. Walker in this offense did just enough. And obviously the story of the day is Jim Schwartz and this Cleveland defense gave San Francisco's offense all that they could handle.
Here's the bottom line. 49ers been averaging 34 points a game. This Browns defense got a hold in the 17.
That's the story right there.
And a knee, and that's that. P.J. Walker and this #1 Browns D with the upset. First loss the last 16 regular season games. And one that they had, the missed field goal at the end, but the Browns and their defense earned it. What a thriller. 19-17 Cleveland, your final score. Hope you enjoyed it today. More to come with America's Game of the Week coming up next on Fox.